All right, fam, it's your brother Assad, and I am back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, I gotta give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to my South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel. My wife, myself, my children, we greatly appreciate it. Third, in terms of housekeeping, yes, there has been a change. It's been a change. It's still happening September 3rd at 1400 o'clock. At 1400 hours, 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. But the venue has changed. As I explained in the previous video, I called Signatures, and Signatures said, man, we are booked. On Saturday, we closed down because we have a special event. That's fine. So we found a new place, and that name of the place is Daruma, Daruma. I think that's how you say it. Y'all know I butcher words. Daruma. It is located at shop number 5, Waterfall corner, the corner of Wodmead and Waterfall Drive in Midrand, right? So we will be there at 2 o'clock. And from my understanding that this is a very, very, very special place. It's owned by a very popular South African artist. I'm sure my South African family knows that. And they say this brother he's a social media person. He is an artist. He's a business person. So I'm looking forward to putting some rands in the register. We are going to do something radically simple and revolutionary. We're going to sit down and laugh loud and talk loud, eat, drink, and be merry. And then we're going to do something revolutionary. We're going to leave some rands in the register. Or as my family said in the comments, rands in black hands. We're going to put those rands in black hands. So, all right, now that that's out the way, what's happening with us? Well, Adrian is getting the children ready. She's getting ready to go to bed because tomorrow is the first day of school, and we're excited about that. I think this is when we're going to start this vlogging thing. I'm going to kind of record it, really for my own personal thing to see my babies off to the first day of school, but I also recorded to share it with you. Now, I know someone's going to say, don't you record what school your children go to? I'm going to record them, getting ready and all that good stuff. So you'll see it. So we'll try to keep their privacy private, right? But tomorrow's the first day of school. We went school shopping, and school shopping is a tad bit different here in SA than it is in the States. I think um like Walmart is the place we go school shopping, right? And I guess I could have gone to Game or I don't think Macro would have been the spot. I think Macro is kind of like food and stuff, but um yeah, it was different. Some of the, like, they said he needed a certain, my oldest son, they said he needed a certain type of calculator. And it's like, oh, this calculator is for 5th grade, this calculator is for 6th grade. I was like, man, look, we was using phone calculators. I don't even know if we was using phone calculators, but I just didn't understand the difference, and all of that looked confusing. And it was some other language that they use, like for some type of paper and folders and stuff. But the lady, the place we went to, I think it's called CNA. The lady was very helpful. She walked us around the store, blah, 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 blah. We got all our stuff. So at least most of it. I didn't realize that my baby boy will have a class in cycling, right? Like cycling is a whole class, like riding a bike. He had to get a helmet. I was like, this is unique. We have basketball gym class. Yeah, that's about it. Gym class was you go in there, it's almost like an assembly. They call roll, and then you just do what you need to do. You either play ball or you hang on the bleachers. So I didn't really realize, like, they take physical ed seriously. It's a whole class. Um, what else is going on in our little world over here? Man, I don't know if you guys saw that little snippet that I put in on the old YouTube, where I got to speak at Vits. A lot of people asking, man, that looks like a lot of UJ stuff, and that's so. It was a joint effort between the Institute for Pan African Thought and Conversation and the African Center for the Study of the United States at Wits. So the Institute for Pan African thought and conversation is at UJ, and the African Center for the Study of the United States is at Wits. And I was asked to kind of review a book called Ivory Towers to Ebony Towers. I think it's Transforming Curricula in Higher Education in South Africa, Africa, and African American Studies. So I had to just review the book and kind of give my take on it or whatever have you. I guess they wanted somebody from the African American side to put their eyes on it and kind of say, yeah, this is how I feel about it. And the a few things that I talked about in the speech, or in the presentation, I should say, again points out these very unique similarities between African Americans and South Africans, right? And somebody asked, well, is it just because their relationship to white supremacy, to white people, that creates these similarities? And I thought that was a very interesting question. And I think my answer to the question is maybe, but that can't be all of it. Remember, black folk in America, African Americans, actually descend from West Africans, right? Nigeria was colonized by the British, and we love our Nigerian family, but we don't see those same type of similarities between Nigerians and African Americans. We see like the historical connection, some of the cultural connection, particularly being from New Orleans with the food, but we don't see those connections that we see with South Africans. The British, I mean, India was colonized by the British. We don't see no whole lot of similarities between Indians in British India and African Americans. So it can't just be the whiteness. There's something unique about the relationship between African Americans and South Africans. As I pointed out in the response, people like Steve Biko, they were both informed by and informed Black conscious thought in America. So they were Brother Biko learned from African Americans, and he taught African Americans via the content that he created, right? Um, the relationship of jazz music being born in the ghettos of New Orleans and finding roots and position in the townships of South Africa, right? It is, and I'm gonna tell you a unique thing that I think that brings African Americans and South Africans together really closely. One of the things that I don't think most people realize, it is the relationship between modernity and infrastructure, right? um, South Africans live very similar lives as it relates to infrastructure, as it relates to modern amenities, and especially in Johannesburg, mega city type feel, that African Americans do. So I think that also shapes the way we, that type of relationship between modernity and infrastructure shapes the way we view the world, the way we interact with the world. We're worried about middle class type things, and we spent some time in Tanzania, and Tanzania, of course, has its middle class, but also I think they have, at least the time that I was there. This is 10 years ago, almost 15 years ago, really. But there's a more slower, more uh, a different pace. There's a different relationship with the water because they're right there on the ocean. Um, the language, right? The Swahili mixed with a little bit of the Arabic over there, right? Kind of makes them and presents them a little bit differently than here in South Africa, where or in Johannesburg in particular, where it's majority black and it's a mega city, it's modern stuff everywhere, and that's kind of the way that many African Americans live. And again, that English language, even though we know that other languages, obviously, there, I think it's 11 or 13 official South African languages, still that English is prominent, and so it makes that those commonalities easier to find. And then I think it's the music. Like Amapiano. Amapiano sounds like um almost like a DC go-go or Chicago house music. Obviously the love of hip hop on both sides of the water, on both sides of South Africa and African Americans. That jazz connection, that R&B connection. I swear one time I was in Soweto at a mall in Soweto, and it started raining. And as it started raining, we couldn't get back to the car, so we stopped at this little place. It was like a restaurant slash bar, and I mean they was playing H Town, and they was playing like old Mariah Carey, old Escape, right? Like all this old music, old Destiny's Child, like the young Destiny's Child too. Not the three. It was the four Destiny's Child. It was, yeah, all the four of them. Yeah. So yeah, I think those similarities go beyond just our relationship with whiteness. That's a part of it, but the South African and African American connection is a little bit stronger than that. Then the relationship with Nelson Mandela being like one of the African figures in the I guess you would say that we were most familiar with, right? If we didn't know anybody else on the continent, we knew Nelson Mandela, right? I told you guys before in the 70s, there was a guy named Gil Scott Heron, and he was a poet slash singer slash revolutionary, and he put out a song called "What's the Word?" Johannesburg. What's the word? Johannesburg. And it's strange because a lot of people in Johannesburg never heard the song. They were, excuse me. They were like, what? But I'm telling you, let me tell you how big, not big the song was, but how he used this song, or he used his platform. He performed this song. Now, Saturday Night Live was one of the biggest shows, still one of the biggest shows in American history, right? Everybody knows Saturday Night Live. It's produced the likes of Eddie Murphy and a whole bunch of other people. So Saturday Night Live had Richard Pryor, right? Think about how big Richard Pryor is, right? Richard Pryor is like the godfather of black comedy. He birthed the styles of so many black comedians, and he was huge, absolutely huge. So this is like the first time that they have, I don't know if it's the first, but one of the first times that a black man was hosting Saturday Night Live. And it's Richard Pryor, a beloved comedian. All the black people love Richard Pryor. So everybody is watching this episode, along with the white audience that usually watches Saturday Night Live. Richard Pryor is bringing all of black America, right? He is hosting Saturday Night Live, and he chooses for his musical guest Gil Scott Heron. And when Gil Scott performs his first song, the first song is "What's the Word?" Johannesburg. Come on, brother, tell me what's the word? Johannesburg. Tell me, have you heard from Johannesburg? It was a shout out. It was like if I had never, well, I mean, I wasn't even alive, but if for anybody who had never even thought of South Africa, thought of Johannesburg, they thought about it that night. Millions of black people watched that, and if they had never thought about Johannesburg, they thought about it that night. And what he was saying, he was he said, I hear they over there, right? Talking about black South Africans. I hear they over there defying the man. The man is language for white people, white supremacy, white systems, right? I hear they over there defining the man. And he said, tell them we over here, we feel them, we got their back. Yeah. Tell them we feel them. We got their back. Yeah. So, and I mean, that's in the 70s, right? There was all kind of stuff going on in Africa. What made Gil Scott say, I'm going to shout out to Johannesburg, right? But anyway, so I think the relationship is far more deeper than just the white supremacy thing, you know. And not granted, there's some differences. There's some cultural differences, obviously, right? But I think that there's that if you use that Venn diagram, right, with South African, black South Africans, African Americans, that center section, that center section would be wide. It would be wide, deep, and rich. And I believe that. So I'm not gonna hold y'all long. Just a reminder. Saturday, which would be when this video comes out, that's gonna be tomorrow, right? Saturday, September 3rd at 2 o'clock, 1400 hours, 2 o'clock at doggone it. I can't remember the name. I can't Daruma. Daruma? Daruma. Daruma. Right? The address and all will be in the link of this video, man. Thank y'all for watching. We love and appreciate y'all. Peace.